World War II was a global catastrophe that reshaped the world. Its effects are still felt today, from the geopolitical order to individual national identities. The war cast a long shadow, influencing the rise and fall of superpowers, the redrawing of borders, and the eruption of new conflicts. Understanding its legacy is essential to navigating the complexities of the 21st century. The war's echoes are particularly resonant in the policies of Russian President Vladimir Putin. Putin's actions in Ukraine, his rehabilitation of Joseph Stalin, and his appeals to Russian nationalism all reveal a leader grappling with the weight of history. By examining Putin's relationship with the past, we can gain a deeper understanding of Russia's present and future trajectory. The specter of World War II also looms over global politics more broadly. The war's lessons about the dangers of unchecked aggression, the importance of international cooperation, and the fragility of peace remain as relevant as ever. As we face new challenges, from rising nationalism to the threat of nuclear proliferation, it is crucial to remember the hard-won wisdom of the past. The world today is a product of the choices made in the wake of World War II. By understanding how this conflict continues to shape our present, we can better equip ourselves to navigate the challenges of the future. Vladimir Putin's worldview is profoundly shaped by his interpretation of Russian history. He draws heavily on a narrative of Russian greatness, emphasizing the country's sacrifices during World War II, known as the Great Patriotic War in Russia. This narrative serves as a powerful tool for mobilizing national pride and justifying his policies. Putin's version of history, however, is highly selective. He downplays the darker chapters of the Soviet past, such as Stalin's reign of terror and the Holodomor, a man-made famine in Ukraine that killed millions in the 1930s. Instead, he focuses on the Soviet Union's victory over Nazi Germany, presenting it as a triumph of Russian resilience and military might. This selective memory allows Putin to legitimize his own authoritarian tendencies and expansionist ambitions. By portraying Russia as a besieged fortress surrounded by hostile forces, he creates a climate of fear and suspicion that justifies his crackdown on dissent and his military interventions abroad. Putin's manipulation of history is a potent reminder that the past is not a neutral arbiter of truth. It is a battleground of competing narratives, each seeking to shape the present and future. Understanding Putin's relationship with history is essential to comprehending his actions on the world stage. One of the most striking aspects of Putin's rule has been the rehabilitation of Joseph Stalin. Despite Stalin's well-documented crimes, including the deaths of millions of his own citizens, Putin has sought to recast him as an effective leader who modernized Russia and secured its victory in World War II. This rehabilitation of Stalin is not simply an academic exercise. It has profound implications for Russian national identity. By minimizing Stalin's atrocities, Putin is able to promote a narrative of Russian exceptionalism and historical righteousness. The glorification of Stalin also serves Putin's political agenda. By associating himself with a figure who embodied strength and decisiveness, Putin bolsters his own authoritarian image. He sends a clear message that dissent will not be tolerated and that Russia's interests will be pursued with ruthless determination. The rehabilitation of Stalin is a chilling reminder of the enduring power of historical revisionism. It also raises troubling questions about the future of Russia. Can a nation truly move forward while whitewashing its past? And what are the implications for Russia's neighbors who still bear the scars of Stalin's brutality? Section 4. A New World Order, the Rise of Superpowers. World War II fundamentally altered the global balance of power. The war shattered the old European empires and left the United States and the Soviet Union as the world's two dominant superpowers. This bipolar world order would define international relations for the next 4 decades. The rise of the United States was particularly dramatic. The war transformed the US from a reluctant global player into a military and economic behemoth. With its vast industrial capacity and its monopoly on nuclear weapons, the US assumed the mantle of leadership in the Western world. The Soviet Union, despite suffering devastating losses during the war, also emerged as a major power. Its military occupied much of Eastern Europe, and its communist ideology held a powerful appeal to many in the developing world. The wartime alliance between the US and the Soviet Union quickly dissolved into mistrust and hostility. The two superpowers, each with its own ideology and sphere of influence, engaged in a global competition for power and influence known as the Cold War. The legacy of this rivalry continues to shape international relations today. Section 5, Echoes in the East, the conflict in Ukraine. The ongoing conflict in Ukraine is a stark reminder of the enduring legacy of World War II. Putin's justification for the invasion, his portrayal of Ukraine as a hotbed of fascism, and his annexation of Crimea all echo the language and tactics of an earlier era. Putin's actions in Ukraine can be seen as an attempt to revise the outcome of World War II and reclaim what he sees as Russia's rightful sphere of influence. He seeks to restore Russia to its former glory, to reassert its dominance over its neighbors, and to challenge the US-led world order. The conflict in Ukraine has also exposed the fragility of the post-World War II security architecture. The principles of national sovereignty and territorial integrity enshrined in the United Nations Charter have been flagrantly violated. The war in Ukraine is a tragedy for both countries, and its consequences will be felt far beyond their borders. It is a reminder that the echoes of the past can be dangerously loud, and that the lessons of history are easily forgotten.